Principal, Dr. Brenda, and Dr. Ilamaran, Head of the Department. I convey my deep regards to the Chief Guest of the Day, Madam Lilian Maria YVETTE. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and joining us today. I want to extend my hearty welcome to our staff coordinators, Dr. Vanita and Dr. Saranya. We thank them for their constant efforts to make this webinar successful. Before we begin, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who sincerely committed to this event to make it a success. I'm sure that you will all feel enriched with knowledge after completion of this event. I welcome you all once again and hope that you will have a great time ahead. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot for the warm welcome, Rajashri. We would now like to introduce the speaker for this event, a resource person, Ms. Liliane Maria YVETTE. I welcome Mahima to introduce our chief guest.
If you want to succeed, you should strike out on new paths rather than travel the worn paths of accepted success. Evening is a time for peace, where there is no tension to cease. Good evening, I'm Mahima Vaishnavi, credited as a pleasure to address the chief guest, Miss Liliane Maria YVETTE, special for her smile on her face, adding more beauty to the soul. She sparkled as writer, singer, dancer, vlogger, and teacher. Dance above the surface of the world. Let your thoughts lift you into creativity that is not hampered by opinion. Let us see about her education. She finished her secondary schooling from Adarsh Vidyalaya Metric High Secondary School, Bhavani in the year 2011. Higher secondary education from SRK Metric Higher Secondary School, Salem in 2013. She finished her bachelor's, master's and MPHIL for English literature at Nirmala College for Women, Coimbatore in the year 2016, 18 and 2021. She also added some extra flavors into her personality by completing additional courses. She completed Business English course Vantage Level at Cambridge University in the year 2015, pursuing BEc Higher in the year 2019. Completed a postgraduate diploma in computer application in the year 2017 and 18. Completed a method acting course in acting, May in the year 2020-21. Pursuing vocal training in rock and pop music at Coimbatore School of Music, affiliated to Trinity College, London. Now, what are her professional experiences? She worked as Assistant Professor of English at Nirmala College for Women, Coimbatore in the year 2018 to 2021. She worked as a teacher of English at BVM Global School, Coimbatore. Her attention stuck up unlimited towards the field of writing as an author. What are her accomplishments? She wrote a play, The Black Butterfly, and staged it. Also won Best Actress Award for the same. She served as one of the panel speakers in the first state-level peace convention held on 27th October 2018 at St. Francis Anglo-Indian School, Coimbatore. She proceeded as a coordinator of Writers Club of the Department of English Self-Financing at Nirmala College in the year 2018. She was labeled as Miss Nirmala for the year 2018. She joined as the editor of English Department's magazine named Wings in the year 2018. What are her milestones as an author? She reframed the play The Black Butterfly and published it as a short story under the same title in the Criterion, an international journal in English, Volume 9. Authored a novel titled Euphoric Serendipity, which was published on 8th January 2020 in association with Think Inc. publication. Currently working on a second novel, Humate, which will be out by the beginning of the year 2020-22. Never apologize for being a powerful woman. She is specialized in decision making and very strong from inner core. What are her activities? A lead member of the college choir in the year 2013 to 2018. Served as an active member of Youth Red Cross in college 2013 to 2016. Part-time vlogger, scriptwriter, what not? Overall, she is many multifaceted women who merges in all fields. Last but not the least, thank you so much, ma'am, for lending your worthy time. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you and enjoy the beautiful evening. Now, I would like to hand over the session to the chief guest to address the gathering.
Well, thank you for all that, Mahima. Thank you. And the person before, yes, Jasper, and everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome. And I would like to thank the management for having me. And yes, I would like to thank the management for having me. I'm sorry for that. And I would thank Dr. Ilamaran, the HOD.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I would like to thank the coordinators, Dr. Saranya and Dr. Vanita. Thank you all for having me. And I think, yes, without further ado, I think we can just jump into the session. Can I share my screen now? Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. So yes, there was a list of things that you had mentioned when you talked about me. Then there were two questions that I asked myself when I started writing. Yes, even before I started writing at the age of 5, when I was very small, and it started as a poem, and then it went into short stories and novels. Yes, and I kept them without publishing, but later on, as years permitted, I started publishing them one by one. But there were two questions that I constantly asked myself when I started writing. When I began, what should I, why, I'm sorry, it's actually why, please forgive the flaw. Why should I be a writer? That was the first question I asked myself. Why should I be one? Is it a necessity? Or is it something that I love? Is it something that I love? Is it something that I, aspire to become? Is it part of me? That is the first question that you should ask yourself. If you truly want to become a writer or anything else in life, if it's not a writer, if it's something else that you want to become, please don't stop yourself. Just ask this question. Why do you want to be that? Do you want to be a writer? Do you want to be an actor? Do you want to be a teacher, a doctor, an engineer, whatever it is? Ask this question. Why should I become that? Why do I want to become a writer? And what does being a writer mean to me? Is there something, does it add meaning to my life? Just being a writer or being anything that I am today, does it give me meaning in life? And I would like to tell you a small experience that I had. It might be small, but still it has a greater impact in us, right? Everything, the little things that happen in life, has become the bigger masterpieces later on. Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yes, Roald Dahl's small addiction to chocolate became a book in the future generation. We all love it, right? So the same thing happened to me when I was in college. Yes, I don't know if many of you all know about the group called BTS. Yes, and I can proudly tell you 8 years passed and I'm a big fan of them. I'm an army, proudly tell you. But I was never like this before. I was feared of being judged by others. Yes, every time I look into my phone, just looking at them, 7 years, 8 years into being a fan, I was just looking at them and my friends would tell me, what do you see in them? What do they look like? I was being judged. Yes. And the girl then never thought, okay, I thought, okay, so I should tone it down. I shouldn't consider this as my meaning. Yes. Because people judge me around that. But then finally, at one point, the same people who judged me tell me that they are their fans now. Okay, so perspectives change, people change. So you do not have to change what means to you. Yes, if something means so much to you, if you love something, you do not have to let it go just because others tell you to. So please ask these two questions. Whatever you want to become in life, just ask these two questions. Why should I be whatever I want to be? Yes. And does it mean anything to me? Be it a writer, be it an actor, be it whatever. Does it mean anything to me? to me. Ask these two questions. These are the most basic questions that anyone should ask themselves before getting in or jumping into anything that you do in the future. And yes, I thought I would start off with a self-healing exercise, but since I cannot see you, I'll just tell you what to do, because if you want to be anything, if you want to be a writer, you should always clear your mind. Yes, the mind is where everything resides. The mind is where everything blooms, everything is created, it's beautiful. So never, that is your space. No one should try getting into it. Don't let others plant seeds into your space. Okay, this is the land. Your mind is the land so fertile where you plant your own seeds and help them grow. Okay, so everyone needs healing inside. So I would just give you a small tip. You can just take it as a tip. You can do it on a daily basis, because I do it. Every morning I get up. Yes, I sit outside before touching my phone. Yes, all these phones, these electronic items, just push them aside. They are bad for you. Now, not everything I say, but still, a constant use of anything, too much of something for nothing, right? Just go out, sit wherever you are, and then calm yourself, look into something, and just start. When you start this healing process, I want you all to just close your eyes. Or you can do it personally. I'll just tell you how to do it. I'll just give you the process, and then you can continue doing this. Right? It helps you clear your mind, and it helps you start the process of writing, or start anything for that matter. So first, you'll have to just find a nice spot, a very calming spot, a regular spot for you. Sit down and think. Yes, just let loose everything. Just sit down and admire what is outside. Admire everything, the sunrise, the beautiful things of every morning. You are alive. You got up. Be thankful for that. Yes, so sit there and admire everything around you. And after that, close your eyes for just 5 minutes every day. And tell yourself that how thankful you are for each day. How precious you are. We are all masterpieces in progress, right? We are all God's masterpiece. We're still in the progress of becoming even more bigger masterpieces. So it's all right with all your flaws. You just tell yourself that you are accepting yourself with all your flaws, all your successes, everything about you is beautiful. So keep telling that to yourself. Start by telling that to yourself. Think about what and all beauty you have. Yes? If you take, I just tell myself, oh, you have beautiful eyes, you have beautiful smile. Yes, you have, everything about you is beautiful. Do not judge yourself. You are free to tell yourself every morning. Just tell yourself how beautiful you are. You're having a beautiful day. Yes, just tell yourself. Keep talking to yourself. Only positive things. It's okay. We're all flawed. It's okay to be flawed. I did something yesterday. It's fine. I can change that tomorrow. Then, after a few minutes into praising yourself, I want you to just embrace yourself like this. Yes, you always very good cheerleaders for others. But when it comes to ourselves, we fail in telling us how beautiful we are. Yes, that is a sad part of reality. But let's stop that here. Let's start healing ourselves from within. So I want you all to just embrace yourself every day in the morning. Yes, hold yourself. Tell yourself that everything is fine. Everything is fine. All your flaws are fine. All that you've been through in life is fine. That has made you who you are today. And you're precious. Tell yourself that. Even if you cry, no problem. Just let it all go. And then, our second process of healing, after a few minutes, tell yourself how thankful you are to have yourself. How thankful you are that you got up. How thankful you are that you're created this way. How thankful you are that you are free in your mind. And let everything go. All kind of feelings that are holding you down, let them go. And finally, just say thank you to yourself. And just give yourself a big I love you. Yes, tell yourself, I love you so much. Tell yourself that. And then you can just take your own time and then open your eyes. Just try doing this every morning, children, and it will help you in a very big level, because it's helped me heal myself, and I know that it will help heal you as well. Okay? And experience is the best teacher. See, I do not want to push my ideas into you. Before I came into this meeting, I decided, and I know that each and every one of you are different in your own ways, and your own experiences are different. I cannot just come and tell you, I experienced this, you also experience it. No, I'm not going to push you into all that, but I am going to tell you certain things that helped me become the person I am today, the writer I am today. So I want you, if you want, take it. Yes, if your mind feels comfortable with whatever I tell you, then your mind wants it. So then take it. If you don't feel like it, if you feel uncomfortable, just leave that point. Just don't take it because you're different. Accept that. We are all different. Okay, so I just jump into the 10 life-changing introspects that changed my life, but I do not want I do not want that to define you. Okay, you are completely different. I don't want you to define yourself with my life changes. Okay, but I will just give you my examples. Right, so let's just jump into the first thing. Do not judge. The first thing, this is very, very important. Do not judge yourself. Do not judge the person or the people around you. Yes, because each and every person has their own story, has their own things that they go through in life. So we are in no way to judge others, and others also shouldn't judge us, but let's not take it, or let's not be hard on ourselves. The same thing happens when you write. Yes, please do not judge your book just because 10 people told you it's not nice, the characters are not good. Please don't judge yourself. It's what you created. You created something and it's beautiful. So do not judge. This was the first mistake that I made, and that's why I'm telling you not to do it. Okay, so literature, writing, everything goes beyond the boundaries that man sets, social or society sets. So don't judge yourself. There is no judgment when boundaries are gone. So please don't judge your book, do not judge others, and do not judge yourself. That is where you start. Do not judge yourself. And the second point, the second mistake that I made, comparing. That is what we all do, right? We compare ourselves with others. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, he is beautiful. Yes, so this comparison, he has everything, she has everything, I don't have anything. So please, let's stop that. No, this was the second mistake that I made, and now I'm changing. I'm slowly growing. It's all a growing process. It's all right if we did that before. But now, because we are unique, I told you, we are beautiful in our own way. So do not compare. If you have a work, if you've created a work, if you've written something, do not compare it to people of the past, or do not compare it to the people of the future, or do not compare it to anyone, because they wrote it in a different time cycle. The people in the future will write it in a different time cycle, and you are writing it from yourself. You are creating it. So please don't compare or judge yourself. The third point, a creation isn't a mistake. Your creation is never a mistake. Okay? Be it personally, you were never a mistake. Yes, you are a precious being. The same thing goes with your book or whatever you write, even if it's a poem, even if it's a 2-line haiku. Yes, whatever you write is a creation, and treasure it. Don't judge it. It's not a mistake. It's right or wrong. No. Maybe people have their own perspectives, but don't consider your work as a mistake. It's never a mistake. Creation is never a mistake. Whatever you write comes to your mind. Yes? So please, don't consider it a mistake. Everything happens for a reason. And you writing, being here, listening to me, everything is for a reason, I believe. So nothing is a mistake. Please don't take it personally. If people talk about it, 10 people will talk bad, 10 people will talk good. Just take whatever you like. And if you want to make changes because it's your decision. It's not because it's a mistake. Because you are deciding to change something in it. And fourth, this is very important, children. This is the next mistake I made. I thought writing is all about fame and becoming famous immediately. As soon as you think of a writer, you think about Dan Brown and J.K. Rowling. Yes, Veronica Roth. We think about all these big people whose books are all published, they're made into movies. But then, even they had a cycle of ups and downs. That is what we miss. So never start writing for fame. Do it as a service. You are helping another person. Through your words, through your books, through what you write, you're helping another person. That's a service. So do it as a service. That will help you calm your mind. You will be free of everything, and you will not just look for fame. Fame, if it has to come, it will come to you because it's just like a passing cloud. It just come and just go. But service stays there. People remember you for what you wrote. This person helped me out. This book helped me out. This writing, this line helped me out. I've had many children tell me after reading my book, they tell me, "Ma'am, I like this." So you are happy. Maybe you're not famous. Maybe people don't see you, but there are 3 people who you're helping. 3 people who have not been famous, who have not seen by anyone around. You are helping them, right? So do it as a service. Don't do it for fame. Fame will come to you if it has to come, but service is always there. You can help anyone you want. No one can stop you. And 5, this is very important. You can get inspired by people. You can get inspired by writing. You can get inspired by Rabindranath Tagore. You can get inspired by anyone in this world. Yes, you can get inspired by Haruki Murakami. You can get inspired by many writers all around the world, Asian, West American, British, Indian, any kind of writer. You can get inspired, but never use their ideologies into yours because you're unique. Don't use their ideas. Get inspired, but don't use their ideas. You are losing yourself when you do that. Get inspired, but never incorporate it. And please don't limit yourself. Imagine, just keep imagining. Imagination has no limits, it has no bounds, and you should be that way too, because you're created to be with no bounds. So keep on imagining. Imagination is the seed of writing. If you want to become a writer, yes, imagine. Just writing, I saw a tree. Doesn't matter, but I saw a tree that is so beautiful. When you imagine that, when you imagine it and put it in words, my God, how beautiful is it? Like that. So don't limit yourself in any way. The next, empathy. Empathy is a necessity. This is the only thing that I'm going to stress you about, because all the other points you can take if you want. If you feel uncomfortable, you can leave it off. But empathy is very important when you want to become a writer, because you have to empathize with each and every character that you create. It's very important because each and every character needs your empathy. Just because the character is bad, it's not that you should not empathize with that. The character is bad for a reason. This character is good for a reason. So don't hate your own characters. Maybe when you're writing in a perspective, for example, the antagonist has to hate the protagonist. If it's in that kind of a scenario, then fine. You can hate at that moment, but don't hate the character that you created. They are your creation. They deserve your respect. They deserve your empathy. Because only if you have empathy in yourself, only if you empathize with your characters, will you be able to understand the story more better. Sometimes as you write, you will feel like crying. And if you feel like crying, just cry and write the story. Because that's who you are. You're empathizing with your character. That shows. And if you get angry at one point when you're writing, yes, you're empathizing with your characters. It's fine. Emotions are fine. Empathize with them. Empathize with your character. Do not hate them at any cost, because you are creating them. Each of them complement your story. Each character, be it good or bad, positive or negative, just like yin and yang. Yes, they complement your story. They put your story together. They bring it out beautifully. So please empathize with your characters. And 8, life is beautiful. Don't test it. Just enjoy it as it is. Don't keep judging. Oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why is that happening to me? Don't bother. If it comes to you, it's just like flow, Taoism, right? If you see in Taoism, everything is like a river. Everything flows to you. Yes? So if you enjoy life, writing becomes easy for you. If you just keep enjoying life, you'll find beauty in everything that you see. A little flower seems beautiful to you. Yes, the dog at your house seems beautiful to you. Everything in life, the little things that we missed so far will seem beautiful to you. Without testing, just follow the flow. Go with life. And you see what kind of marvelous works you create as you go like that. And 9, I just want to tell you, you have to learn to embrace things, and you have to learn to let go of things as well. Emotions are not they are not stagnant. They are here, they are there. But if you hold on to them, if you embrace them for a long time, it will hurt you. Happy memories, you hold on, you say hold on to happy memories, but at one point you'll start missing those happy memories and you'll start comparing them to the negative memories that you have after that. So please, if it's positive or negative, learn to embrace them at that moment and learn to let them go as well. Be it happy or sad, because they are all in the past. Stay in the present. Enjoy your present. You're breathing. The only present thing that we do is breathing. Did you know that? That's actually a fact. That is the only present thing. I'm sitting down. I might move. So it changes. But your breath, your breathing, that's the exact present that you are. So be thankful for that. Don't hold on to emotions. If you hold on to emotions, your stories will be blank. They'll be bland. It's like the same flavor all through. Yes, so there should be a lot of emotions that reside when you write. So learn to embrace and let go. And finally, yes, stop waiting and start creating. That is the start. Don't wait for the best story to come to you. Don't wait for anything. Just start it. The story will come to you as it goes. Just write 2 words a day, 3 words a day. I think you would have heard many people telling you this, but it really helps. Whatever you feel like, oh, I feel bad today, or I feel happy today, just write it down and keep. It'll develop into a story. You wrote something that day. You did a little change that day. Yes, so start writing, start creating. Don't wait for the next process. And finally, it's okay to take a break once in a while. Yes, even in life, when you're running to get something, right? What do we get in the end? It's nothingness. Yes, there's a famous line from Macbeth that I like a lot when I was studying in UG. Yes, there was this certain line that it says, life full of sound and fury, but it signifies nothing in the end. Beautiful lines, right? So we keep running for something at some point of time, but it's okay to take a break. No problem if people tell you, why are you sitting here? Why are you wasting your time? You're not wasting your time. You're sitting there and you're thinking about what you're running for. Yes, it's okay. It's okay to take a break. It's fine. But don't stop there. Stopping is the wrong thing. Take a break and then get up and move again. A break is just a small time period for you to think and move on. And all the best. I think whatever I told you has helped you a bit. Yes, you can take what you want and you can leave what doesn't feel comfortable to you. But I wish you all the best to become great writers, and thank you.
That was a very enlightening session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm sure that many aspiring writers found your guidance invaluable.
Thank
Now I open the floor to questions.
Yes, if you have any questions, you all can ask me.
Ma'am, good afternoon,
Yes.
ma'am. Janani.
Good afternoon, Janani. Yeah.
Ma'am, I generally have a view that writing is not cannot be a main profession like which aids for the economical need. We need to live so that we can be writers. That's my general view.
Okay.
And
As a part.
yes, ma'am. I feel like it should be a part of life, not the mainstream. So, how do you feel for a full-time writer?
Full-time writer, because even I'm not a full-time writer, Janani. I don't write, completely, because each one of us, yes, we have different aspects in life. We have certain things that we have to do. For example, I told you, fame doesn't come instantly when you're a writer. It takes time. The process takes time. So instead of sitting and waiting, you do another job at the side, and you can spend time for writing also. You can allot time, like 1 hour a day. Yeah, I'm going to write. Or 10 minutes a day, I'm going to write. It can be a side process, because I also do many things in the side, like I like editing YouTube videos. I like doing this and that. There are many things that I like doing, and partly I like teaching as well. So you don't have to stick to just one thing as writing. It can be a part of what you like. You don't have to take it to a mainstream. You don't have to force yourself to become a writer. It's not like that. A teacher can also be a writer.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
So there
I
are
felt like, is it like the difficulties being a mainstream writer, but
you
yes,
can
ma'am,
do that,
continue.
or if you just want to be in the writing line itself, if you don't want to move aside from the writing line, you can become an editor or a proofreader, yes, something like that, so you can earn and work as a writer, so you won't have a lot of headache in that process.
Yes.
So you'll be in the mainstream as well as going on.
Thank you.
Did it clear your doubt, Jenny?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else? Y'all can feel comfortable.
Ma'am, shall I?
Yes, Mahima. Go on.
Ma'am, is there any qualification for being a writer? Like as you said earlier, you can take up a job of editing or something like that in part time. So do we have some certain qualification like you have to complete this so that you can become that? So do we have any criteria for that, ma'am?
No, dear. There are no criteria to become a writer. Yes, if you feel like writing something, you become a writer. Yes, you just imagine Chetan Bhagat, his original profession, he's an IT professional, right? But see how he's a writer as well. And the greatest writer, Dr. Arthur Conan Doyle, yes, he was a doctor, but he created Sherlock Holmes. There is no, you don't have any restrictions to be a writer, or you don't have any criteria to be a writer. You just have to be yourself. When you're creating, if you want to be a writer, if you decide to be a writer, you can be a writer. There's no such thing as there are certain criteria to be a writer. No, if you feel like something, all your emotions, you can use it as a screaming space. I call it that. Writing is my screaming space. If I cannot speak something, if I cannot tell something to anyone, if it's bubbling in my mind, then I use writing as an option. So that is how I started becoming a writer. So if you consider writing, if you want to be a writer, there are no criteria. You can just become one. Okay?
Yes.
The very thought of you wanting to write is you're a writer.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ma'am. As a writer, what do you think is the correct content for our society to read? As a writer, what do you think is the correct? If we write this type of content, people will read it and not be offended, because in our society, anything on what if some people accept it, some other people they are going to be offended. This is for example, veganism, feminism. Feminism is a very sensitive topic, and there's pseudo feminism, things like that. Some people they accept it, and some people they are offended by it, and some people they disagree with it. And what do you think is the correct thing for Indian readers, Indian society to take in?
Okay, thank you for the question, Abhishek. It's actually a very good question. To me, mostly, I think in the minds of Indian readers, we either prefer the classics or we prefer love. Compared to the younger generation, they all like these love stories. Yes, they're all redundant. It's constantly the same. The love stories and all this, they are the same. But then if you write, and you said being offended, right? People, certain groups of people, they tend to be offended. But there is something called freedom of speech. And even though they get offended, if we feel something is bad, yes, if you feel that something is bad, but you'll have to have knowledge about it before going into it. I think, for example, I would take this Jallikattu, right? It was a very sensitive topic for Tamil people, for us, right? When we were imposed, when they said you shouldn't have that. Yes, it was actually a very sensitive topic, and we started writing about it. That became a hot topic of that period. So there is a hot topic for each and every period. But just because it offends the just because it offends the central people, just because it offends people from the central side, we cannot just say that it's something we fighting for our rights, right? So it might be a sensitive topic for some people, But if it has to be spoken there, if you have knowledge, only you know about it. Only a Tamil person knows why Jallikattu is important to them. So when we started speaking, people started understanding. Okay, so it's fine if you have problem with something, but you have to know about what you're talking. You cannot just give rash judgments about this and that. If you have to speak about something, you'll have to have knowledge about it. You'll have to have a deep study about it. Because when people ask you, when people corner you, like, why did you write like this? It's wrong. And all that, you should have enough proof to back you up. You should say, yes, I read all this. Why aren't you judging those people? I read all this, and through this, I came to a conclusion like this. So if you have backup plans, or if you have things, if you have a clear idea of what you're talking about, then no one can be offended. Even if you offend a lot of people, you can point blankly tell them that this is what I read. That means many things have to be changed. If it's what you say, then many things have to be changed. So it's
Yes,
easier.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
easier to speak with the backup. Thank you, Abhishek. Yes, a nice question.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon,
Ma'am,
dear.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, did you face any difficulties at the starting of your writing career, ma'am? If yes, how did you overcome them, ma'am?
Yes, difficulties in the sense I told you, right, through my full process. If you had seen my slide, they were all the mistakes that I did, and that I didn't want you to go through. Yes, these difficulties are from your side, from within. Always judging yourself. Is it good? Is it bad? You should write without expectations. That is the biggest mistake I did. I expected too many things. When I started writing, I thought, okay, fame, instant this, instant that. That was wrong. That was an immature mentality. Right? You should not judge. That was the first thing that I learned. You will have to overcome your own demons, they say, right? So that is the only thing that I had to overcome. As a writer, my own demons were the wrong things that I had to overcome. So as I'm slowly overcoming them, yeah, things seem more lighter. You have too many openings as a writer, too many competitions, too many cash prizes. You can just go Google and check it out. Like you have nearly 76,000 cash prize for a poem. You can try it out anything. You can try out anything you want. There is no limitation to it. And as a writer, that was the only block that I had. Thinking too much of expectations. That was the biggest block. But then I started overcoming that, and now I understand. Writing is a service. It's not fame. It's not this, that, and all. It's not all that glamorous. Yes. So writing is a slow process. But if you want to become a writer, the inner demons are the only things that you should overcome.
Yes,
from
ma'am.
my perspective.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Shiva.
Shiva
Sambhavi, yes.
Ma'am, I just always feel that every writer, while start writing, they used to tell that I write for myself. That's it. I don't want anybody's attention. But as time goes on, every artist in various art fields, they always expect their work to be even it's celebrated or criticized. They want its existence. Like people should at least know that there is a book like this, there is a work like this, there is a artist like this. So, but it never happens when it comes to art writers in India. Not only Indian writers, but also French English writers, Mexican English writers. They all face this. Even Salman Rushdie, the Indian writer, but now he's an Indian American writer. He gains fame. But while he was an Indian writer, he didn't gain any fame name. We don't write for name and fame. At least whoever reads the book, they should value the book. But the Indian writers never get that value and appreciation for just being there. India, they don't have much knowledge about the English language, and their English language was treated in very sublime level. So that would urge the writers of any country other than an American and the British writer.
Yes. Yes, dear. Actually, that's a very good question. But let me answer it for you in this way. Do you think American English and Indian English is in any level the same?
Yes, I get it correctly.
You think about it. American English, British English, Indian English. English.
Yes,
Are they the same?
no, ma'am, no.
No, they have their own unique features, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when India, if you take up Tagore's work, if you take up C.V. Raman's work, what to say, if you take up those classic writers' works in India, they were directly, what to say, we were under the British rule, and they learnt a lot from the British people, and it was directly from a very learned level of English. But nowadays, English is a language that mixes and blends into each culture. That is the beauty of English. Yes, a Spanish man speaks English in a different way. An American speaks English in a different way. A Britisher speaks English in a different way. An Australian speaks English in a different way. So when you are in India, the Indian people should understand the English that you speak. Not everyone can speak British English, or not everyone can come to the standard of an American English. In fact, those are the standards that they have set. In America, their English is that standard. In India, our English should be an Indian standard, because the mass majority of people that you reach in India should understand what you eat. If I go there and write just like Shakespeare or Chaucer, no one will understand. Yes, that's what Wordsworth did. He reduced the impact of the language, right? In no way was he lower, right? The same person wrote Tintern Abbey. The same person wrote Daffodils. So which do you like more, Tintern Abbey or Daffodils? Which do you understand?
Daffodils, ma'am.
Daffodils. That is the beauty. When you reduce it, when you make it easy for another person of your own culture to understand. Yes, if I say I ate biryani today, I write that in a book. An Indian will understand what biryani is, right? An Indian will relish what biryani is. But if the same thing I write in America, I enjoyed biryani today, I'll have to write in the dictionary what biryani is for that person to understand. He say, okay, vegetable rice, what's so great about it? Or chicken rice, what's so great about it? An Indian understands an Indian better. Right? So when you write for a population, an Indian population, you write it in that language, the Indian English. Yes, that is what we speak. So if you write it in that language, it might seem demeaning, because we are, as literature students, we tend to read a lot of books from different authors. Yes, Asian authors, we read about East Asian authors. Yes, I'm a big fan of East Asian authors. And here you have Caribbean authors, you have different kinds of authors. And since we read all of them, our Indian English that we have grown up with and we already know, and people, normal people, we have a drawback of taking little things for granted, taking what we have for granted. When you have something, we won't take it seriously. But for a Britisher or an American man to understand the book that an Indian writer has written is something great. Because he has to learn so many things to understand little words that have been mentioned in that book. Okay, so for them it's beautiful. Always you say, no, the grass is always greener on the other side. That's the same thing that's happening. So in no way, so in each country has its own difference, and the writing is also different. So when I have to reach out to a big audience, yes, if I have to reach out to an Indian audience, I keep the audience in mind. And if I'm seeking for fame, or if I want people to know about what I want to tell them, yes, then I will have to take up Indian English, or whichever country I am. If I'm in America, I have to write as an American, write like an American, for him to understand how I feel. So to an Indian, I'll have to write in Indian English, then only they'll know how I feel. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And I have another one question, ma'am. That they categorize every work into two, ma'am, like literary fiction and genre fiction. And literary fiction always receives awards, but it's the selling on the view of seeing it selling, it's like way more less in the purchase of books. But while the bestsellers are mostly of genre fiction, why then who read is that the literary fiction or only for the awards and nominations? That's a very big doubt I've always in my head.
Yes. Awards and nominations, dear. If you now see these awards and nominations, now everything are given just because a person receives an award doesn't mean that all the other people write yes, aren't worthy of it? Yes or no? If you, for example, if you participate in a program, okay, and one person wins the first prize, the second prize, and the third prize, does it mean that all the other people who did not win are not important?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. But what I'm asking is that, ma'am, the bestsellers are not the award-winning books, but the award-winning books are not the bestsellers. So that's what the trick that triggers me,
That
ma'am.
you know why is that? Because it's the same thing that I told you before. If I write in my own, for example, if I write in Indian English and I give it to people, people understand and they like it. That's called bestseller. Okay, it sells out well because people like the content. They read it twice, they read it thrice. Yes, they enjoy the content because they feel it. They empathize with the book. Okay, just I told you, no, the love of biryani. I empathize with it, so I like the book. But then there are writers who write in a very what to say, in a very high-held manner, which is not understood by all the folks around. Okay, so those kind of books don't become bestsellers, but they are best in their own way. Just because all the others do not understand it, because there's an understanding level also to reading and writing. As a literature student, you can read many books. But you think about the other departments or the people outside, for example, people who are stressed with work, when they come back and they read a book of theories and beautiful things said by a different writer, they won't understand that. No one likes Macbeth. When they read Macbeth in Tales of Lamb's Tales of Shakespeare, they like it. But if you tell them to read the original script, will they like it?
No, ma'am.
No, because the understanding level is also important. They have to understand what it is about. But the people who understand that, and they find that compared to this bestseller that speaks to people, this book carries more weightage, but the people don't understand. That's the only difference. The weightage is more, yes, but the understanding level is less. That is the only thing. Or the reach is less.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for patiently answering my questions.
No problem. Did it clear your?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I got it, ma'am. I understood.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Ma'am, I have another question.
Yes, Abhishek.
Is it okay to write about things that are not usually accepted by a large proportion of the society? For example, myself and a little group, a small group of friends, we enjoy dark humor and we enjoy offensive humor. I don't mind if people judge me or stuff.
Okay. No problem.
Is it okay to write about it? Because when I make these kind of jokes in front of people who are not okay with these kind of jokes, they obviously are angry with me and they judge me. What this guy, what he's talking like this and all. It happens a lot of time. Every time I share a meme on Instagram about this, I get not very nice replies about it, opposing replies. Is it okay to do this in case of a book? Because almost 95% of the people, they do not enjoy it. Even if they don't find it funny, they just correlate it with something that isn't nice. And there's some kind of hate reply about it. This is my thing. This is my jam. And is it okay if I express it freely?
Yes, it is okay. It is okay. See, there is a group. I don't know if you've. Oh God, I completely forgot. There are this group of people who enjoy these kind of things. I'm not going to judge you in any way, because even I've read books that have dark humor. Yes, because it's not wrong. There are books, there are writers who like writing dark humor, and there are audiences who like that as well. Okay, so it's not like the majority of people, because society has set certain standards, Abhishek. That's the problem. When you take certain things, when you talk certain things, right? People have been imbibed. It's imbibed in their mind that, oh, this is bad and this is good. Why is he using these kind of words? Okay, so all these things are a setup that society has given. Society has claimed it to be. You call that, group mentality, right? And kind of things are good. There are negative aspects, there are positive aspects, but it's fine. It's fine. When you create something, I told you it's a screaming space, right? Writing is, for me, it's my screaming space. If I feel uncomfortable about something, if I don't like something, if I want to tell it in a way that people understand. Yes, for example, I can tell you, do you watch Veer Das's comedy? Abhishek?
At times.
At
He has
times,
a
yes.
Netflix special, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And he uses these kind of dark humors. Right. So is
Yes,
he
ma'am.
scared? Yeah, is he scared about using it?
I don't think, he would have gotten used to it. So
Exactly.
this is a new thing for me when I write to this. When I write about this, the first reply to this will be like, you are a psychopath. You will become a murderer in the future. You will become a serial killer. I'm getting used to it, but is this normal? Is this okay? Is this okay to write about it? Because I'm writing this for, I'm not really, but I'm putting this out for a large group of people to read or think about. Because I want people to understand that I make jokes. I make jokes to be intended to be taken as jokes, not to be taken seriously to think about. But there is another entirely different aspect that there is a sad part of it. For example, if a girl gets sexually harassed, I can make jokes about it. And there are people who think it's not okay to do it. But what my entire thing is to point out is that the sexual harassment is a thing. It's quite common these days. That's my point. Is it okay to do this kind of things? Because most people tend to become offended and take the bad part of it when I'm trying to give out a message.
Okay, so is this message to the harasser, or is it to the harassed person?
No, ma'am. I'm not generally talking about sexual harassment. I'm talking about everything that. I never made statements about sexual harassment because I haven't got kind of good jokes to make about it. And the thing is, I'm talking about general issues. For instance, a joke is easily placed in people's mind rather than an unusual statement, right? So why not people remember about it? That's my point. I'm trying to address an issue in the form of a joke, which is offensive.
Okay, people take it offensive.
Yeah.
To you, it's not offensive.
It's not offensive to me. I think that if it is a joke, that guy, he talked about it and it was not in a nice way. They'll remember it. It's a negative impact, but they'll remember it.
Exactly, yeah.
Is it okay? Is it okay to do it?
Do you like it?
Of course, I do enjoy it. I have a good laugh about it. I have lovely people who know how to take these jokes. But the thing is, I'm thinking about the larger sector of the society. Is that ethically correct? Is that ethically correct? Because most people, they don't find it right. Even my family, they're not okay with it. When I tell them something, when I make these kind of jokes at home over dinner table, they yell at me. My father literally once he stared at me so well that I had to leave the table because it made everyone uncomfortable. This is the thing.
Abhishek, see, there is one thing. Certain people will listen to you, and it will offend certain people. Right? For example, if it offends 90% of the people and it impresses 10% of the people, then only to those people you should appeal those kind of books. Understood? You should give a discretion, or you should give a disclaimer stating that these books are not for this kind of purposes. Read it at your own risk. Okay, because if you put it in, if you put it up in your WhatsApp status, or if you put it up in certain, or Facebook or Instagram, there will be definitely many people who get offended about it. Yes, because people don't like certain things, and they have been socially, their mind has been socially set up to think that these things are bad, these things are good. Yes, they have their own ideologies. So they will judge. They will definitely judge. Even if it's a positive judgment or a negative judgment, people will judge. Certain people will like it, certain people will not. Yes. But if you are going to put up things like that, then you can just give them a disclaimer stating that these might hurt certain people. If you are not hurt by anything, then you can go ahead and read it. But if you will be hurt by these kind of things, please stay away from my books. Yes, that itself will create an impression. It's at their own risk. So you are not at risk, they are not at risk.
Yes, ma'am. I get it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. This helps. This helps a lot.
Thank you.
Ma'am, actually, I have one more question, ma'am.
Yes, Mahima.
Okay, ma'am. I have a doubt. Like, I've been thinking about this recently for past 2 to 3 weeks after the recent 12th standard examination result were out. Ma'am, result of 12th standard, ma'am. The current year 12th standard.
Okay, 12th
The
result.
analysis came. I was thinking about it, ma'am. What I personally consider is this type of evaluation, maybe it is wrong because in 10th standard a person would have been in some other mindset and would not understood the seriousness of education. So in 11th standard he would have developed something, and 12th he might have thought 12th is a very golden opportunity. I'm talking about a middle class boy or a girl who understands the pain of education in 12th standard, and he is considering the 12th is a golden opportunity to study, score good marks, and place in a very good institute somewhere wherever he wants to study. So he would have worked the whole 12th. Maybe in this quarantine he would have studied very much and would have had hope that he will score good marks. But sudden this announcement of 50%, 20% and 10% would have hurt him or her so much, ma'am. So that what I consider is even though we mostly we have monthly test also. In monthly test, number 1 we would have scored good marks, and 2 very less marks. So when it comes to monthly test, we have lots of changes. In this yearly 10th, 11th and 12th, the person definitely would have some variation in their mark system. So now they have made it like this, and the analysis had come, and many of my my juniors have scored, some have scored very less, and some have got unexpected marks. So this had brought some changes. So what I thought, like, I should frame it in a way that this is not fair. This may affect the middle class people who have thought like they should go for a higher institution. So I thought of projecting this in a very well manner. So if I do this, will I get personally affected about this? Like if I write like this is unfair because many people are not getting education properly. If I write like this, will I get any problem with this if I project it in a way of this?
No, dear. No, you will not get into trouble and all that. If you are writing this as an article, now for a newspaper or something like that, if you publish it as an article, it will definitely reach many people. And it's like you are portraying an idea about something that has happened. And it's not wrong, actually. No one will judge you for that. And for example, I can tell you, when I studied my 10th standard, right? When I did my 10th standard, we had separate books for everything. Like botany had a separate book, such a big book, and zoology had a separate book, geography had a separate book, history had a separate book. I studied in matriculation, the syllabus, the metric syllabus, and I had a lot to study. And then after I passed out of 10th standard, they completely changed it to Samachir, where you had only one book to study. And I felt jealous. Yes, I used to just go on and on about my brother just finished his 12th standard and now he's joined college, right? So I keep going on and on about it. I just say, see, y'all are studying very easily. This is easy, that, this and all. But then you can express. There is nothing wrong about expressing. Yes, and when you are expressing, you're saying that you want to put it in a very polite manner, or you want to put it up front. You can even put it in a direct manner. There's nothing wrong. If you write it as a newspaper article, well and good, it can be direct. But if you write it as a short story, or I want to say a poem or something like that, something that's connected with literature, a non-fictional thing or something like that, then you can give you can bring it into a story. You can blend it into a story, and then you can give it to them. It'll be subtle, but then with certain words and certain actions or certain ideas or certain scenes, people will understand, okay, she's meaning this. This exactly happened.
Yes, ma'am. I just want them to know that I just want them to understand what I'm saying. Like that is my main motive is that, ma'am. Like this is unfair. This is not. This is improper. I just want to tell them this is improper way of evaluation. This is not perfect. This is affecting many large number of people. Of course, many who have qualified this 12th standard, but for some sectors of people, it is affecting very badly. So I just wanted to tell them. That's it, ma'am.
Definitely. You can blend it into a story, or you can write it as a newspaper article. Newspaper article, you can directly write it and send it to them. They'll publish it if they like it. But if you write it as a story, it's way better. You can blend it because you won't get into trouble at all. Yes, because it's just a story. You can just tell them it's fiction.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, then. Yes, anyone else?
Ma'am, we have a question from the student Pritika Raj. Can I ask Jasper to read the question for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. Good evening, ma'am. Nowadays, anybody can become a writer like engineers because there's so many blogs. Anyone can write a book and publish it in online as e-copy and as well as hard copy. So, what's your opinion about it, ma'am?
Okay, e-copies and hard. Thank you for the question. It was Ritika, right?
Pritika, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, just thank you. So, yes, to me, I felt that if you publish a book classically, like completely a hard copy, right? I had a lot of losses when I did that as a hard copy, where you will have to, the first 500 copies that you publish will, will not fetch you that much, because you will have to be selling and pushing and all that, you and your publisher. Yes, you will have to have a lot of deal talks, that it'll be a very big issue. So I think personally it will be better if you publish it as a a soft copy, where it's just on the internet, and you can share it with your friends and ask them to read, and you get returns as well. You don't have to go through someone else, like an affiliate marker, right? Going through someone else, right? You can just create your own cover and publish it. It's actually easier, and Amazon is providing you with great options, children. It's actually a very nice platform where you just put your book up for display, you give the rates for your book, and then you just share it among people, ask them to read it, and if they buy it, you get the returns. So you are your own publisher, you are your own seller and everything. So it's fine. Actually, it's a more safer platform, I think. Because instead of going through different cycles, when you have a platform where you can publish it by yourself, I think, to me at least, online publication is better in a way. Did that answer Ritika's question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Ritika. Any more questions? Or
Children, any other question, or we'll wind up? I think that's it. We'll wind it up, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Jasper?
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Janani to deliver the vote of thanks to the gathering.
A warm good evening to one and all present here. Honorable Chief Guest, Ms. LILIANE Maria YVETTE, respected Head of Department, Dr. Ilamaran sir, the professors of the department, and all the participants. It's such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank you all dignitaries. On behalf of English Department and PSDCAS Institution Innovation Council, I extend a warm welcome to people in the gathering. I would like to express my gratitude to everyone for your presence to make this webinar a great success. I extend my gratitude to the Honorable Chief Guest of the day, Ms. LILIANE Maria YVETTE, to grace the event. We thank you so much for inspiring and encouraging the aspiring writers and authors. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all again. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
Yes, children, thank you. You all can leave the meet. Ma'am, LILIANE, ma'am, thank you so much. You had so much patience to answer all our questions.
Thank you.
Thank
It
you
was
so
actually
much.
a lovely